My name is William Edward, and today I want to tell you about the moment I finally understood that I was no longer running from my life. For most of my years, everything I did was about escape. Escape from bills, from fear, from disappointment, from the quiet voice that kept asking for more. I moved fast, I worked hard, and I stayed busy because stillness felt dangerous. After speaking at the regional training event, something changed inside me. I returned home and walked into my apartment with a strange calm. The walls were the same, the furniture was the same. But I wasn't the same man who had left. For the first time in decades, I didn't feel like my life was happening somewhere else. That week, I took a vacation day, something I had avoided for years because I believed rest was a luxury I hadn't earned. I spent that day walking through my neighborhood slowly, noticing things I had passed 1,000 times without seeing. The small park behind the grocery store, the cracked sidewalk where weeds grew through concrete, the old couple who waved at everyone even though most people never waved back. I realized how much of my life I had rushed through, treating time like an enemy, always chasing the next paycheck, the next task, the next distraction. But the truth was this: time was not my enemy. My fear was. That afternoon I sat on a bench in the park and watched children learning to ride bicycles. Some fell, some cried. Some stood up and tried again with scraped knees and crooked smiles. No one told them they were too late. No one told them they had already missed their chance. They kept riding until balance became natural. That's when it hit me. I wasn't late to my life. I was finally balanced. I went home and opened the same notebook I had been writing in for years. But instead of reflecting on pain or progress, I wrote about gratitude. I wrote about mornings I no longer dreaded, about conversations I no longer avoided, about a heart that was no longer hiding. The next Monday at work, I looked at my team differently. I wasn't just supervising tasks anymore. I was seeing people trying to find their footing, just like I once had. I stopped correcting immediately and started asking questions. I watched confidence grow where fear used to live. That night, I called my father. We hadn't spoken deeply in years. We talked about work, about weather, about nothing. Then I told him I was proud of him. The line went quiet. He didn't say much, but I heard something break open in his breathing. Some conversations take a lifetime to begin. As the months went by, I noticed something else. I was no longer chasing a version of success that belonged to someone else. I was building a life that fit me. Quiet mornings, honest work, meaningful connections. That was my American dream. And for the first time, it felt real. If you are listening to this while scrolling, while waiting, while pretending you are fine, I want you to know this moment can belong to you too. You don't need to run faster. You need to stand still long enough to realize you have arrived somewhere important. Because the day you stop running is the day your life finally catches up with you.